It often means that it's our turn next to get sick. But this morning, Dr. Vijay is going to tell us what we can do to combat catching a cold when we're traveling. Good morning.
Good morning.
So you just got back from India, which
Yes,
is, you said, 25 hours on a plane.
Yep, long flight.
That is just horrible. Okay, was anybody coughing, sneezing next to you?
You know, I was so busy with our 3 kids, I didn't even notice.
So you were the bad guy on that
That's
flight.
right.
Okay.
That's right.
Okay, so of course, it seems that every time I travel that I get sick, and I'm sure that happens to so many people.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, it's a very common thing, obviously, because there's a lot of risk factors when you're flying. One is a long flight, you're pretty tired. Second one is the air in the cabin is extremely dry.
Yeah.
And what that tends to do is it dries out your nose, dries out all your mucous membranes, and that increases the risk of you catching any virus that anybody around you might have.
That's an interesting concept that I didn't kind of realize.
Yeah.
So when you're dried out, it kind of makes you
Absolutely,
more susceptible.
absolutely, because a lot of the defense mechanisms that the body has is dependent upon having an adequately hydrated layer of mucus and fluid on your mucous membranes. And when you're in a plane and the air is so dry, it dries out.
So is there something that you can squirt up your nose, or what do you do, chapstick?
You could potentially try and use saline washes on the nose, but a simpler method is to just drink lots of fluids. Drink lots of fluids, avoid alcohol, and just make sure that you stay hydrated enough so that you're urinating every few hours.
Okay, so you're going to want to be on the aisle then.
That's right. That's right.
Excuse me, can I get by? Okay, is there a place on the plane that you're less likely to get sick?
You know, it depends on the aircraft model. Every aircraft, as you can imagine, there's a set amount of air that the plane goes with. And this air is recirculated through a filter system and brought out back out into the cabin. And depending on the aircraft, you need to sit over in the front of the plane or the back. But most likely, it's usually a good bet to sit as close to first class as possible.
Right,
they tend to have
they've got it the best.
That's right.
Okay. Maybe you can get some of their leftovers too.
There you go.
Okay, so also we always hear these ads for airborne. I think they proved that airborne was not effective. I mean, can you take any of these? Is that beneficial? Because I know they're making lots of money still.
That's right. They still are. You know, there's no proven benefit. There's no proof that it makes you any worse off, but for sure, scientifically speaking, there's no benefit whatsoever to spending that extra money to taking those pills or those nasal sprays. The best bet is to stay well hydrated and have good nutrition in terms of eating lots of fruits and vegetables and avoiding alcohol when you're on the plane.
So you shouldn't wear a mask, you know? Why do we see people wearing masks? They're trying to prevent you from getting sick?
That's right. You know, and that's much more prevalent over in the Asian cultures, where anybody who has a cough or a cold, they tend to put a mask on themselves. And the other thing that masks do is they prevent you from reaching over and touching your eyes and your nose. So say you touch a contaminated surface, either when you shake somebody's hand or the airplane seat, and then you go ahead and touch your eye or your nose, you're introducing the virus or bacteria directly.
And that is my main problem. I always have a habit of rubbing my nose, so I got to stop doing that.
The mask would help you.
I should just wear that everywhere.
That's right.
That'd be a new style. Okay, remember, Dr. Vijay is here to answer any of your burning medical questions, so if you have one, shoot us an email at news@KIII.com.